doing something I'm really passionate about on a regular basis and not just going to work and coming home and cooking and cleaning and stuff. Because, no, ma'am. Hey girl, hey, it's me, Amber D, and thank you so much for coming through for another video. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, girl, so it is Sunday. I am having a very chill day today, at least so far. I just have been writing today's chapter of book number 5. This is the second book of my second series. The first book of the second series, Soul Ties, actually was just released this last week. This last Tuesday, the paperback version was released. The Tuesday before, the downloadable version was released, but now it's available however way you prefer, whether you prefer a downloadable version or a paperback version. Is currently available. It's called Soul Ties. You can get it on Amazon or my website, which is linked in the description box of this video. And I'm currently working on the follow-up to that book, book number 2 of this second series, which is called the Soulful series. I just finished act number 1 today, and usually around this time of the book is when the book really starts to settle in and it gets really, really good, and you get to like the first pieces of all the drama happening. So that's where we are right now. I'm really excited about it, and it's coming along really good. But crazy enough, this weekend didn't really go as planned. Me and Husband's off days have not been linking up the past few weeks at all. Husband is on a rotating schedule. So as a truck driver, he works 5 days a week, and then he'll have 2 days off, and then he'll work 5 days, and then he'll have 3 days off. And those days rotate. So his days off are not always the same days of the week like mine are. I'm off every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I work some Fridays, but mostly I'm off every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Husband's off days have fallen on every day but those days in these past weeks. So this weekend was like our first weekend with the same days off. He was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. And if you remember a couple videos ago, I was telling you that we had celebrated our anniversary. We celebrated 17 years married and 20 years together. And that was kind of falling right around the time that Husband's mama passed, and we were, doing the funeral and spending time with family, getting all of that situated. So we obviously weren't really in the mood to be celebrating and doing a lot of stuff like that. So we decided to postpone. And we had decided that this past Friday we were going to go and celebrate our anniversary. We had these plans. We were going to go and take a little day trip to Texas Wine Country, which is in Fredericksburg, only about 2 hours from where we are. We had been out there once before for my 40th birthday. We made like a whole weekend of it. We went out there, we got a room, and it was like a whole thing. We had a lot of fun. And we went, as soon as we got there, we said this would be like the perfect spot for a day trip. Like I said, it's only 2 hours away. We could drive out there, have a cute little lunch, have some wine and come on back before it gets dark. And that's what we had planned for yesterday. And we're about halfway there and we get a flat tire. Girl. So thank God that it happened, because we took my car. Whenever we do like a little something like this, a day trip or a little short road trip, we always take my car because it just gets such better gas mileage than husband's Challenger. So we were in my car. And the crazy thing is we had just got my car inspected. And so we knew, they told us at the inspection, we knew it was going to be about time for me to get new tires. So we had planned to get new tires on my car before the end of the year. We were going to get 2 at a time. And, we had already talked about it. So we get there, halfway there, about an hour into our trip. We get a flat tire on the back passenger side of my car. Like I said, thank God I was in my car going somewhere with husband, because he got out, changed the tire pretty quickly. And at that point, we just decided to go ahead and turn around and come on back to the house. We didn't want to go another hour on a donut and then have to come 2 more hours back home. So we just put the donut on, drove the hour back to our side of town, and we went straight to the tire shop. We decided to go ahead and get all 4 new tires, but they won't be in until Monday. So I'm still currently on a donut on my car. So I'll go to work tomorrow on a donut, and then I'll go straight from work to the tire shop and I'll get all 4 of my new tires. But that was how we spent our postponed anniversary plans. From there, girl, we came back to town. We went to lunch at one of our favorite restaurants, and then we picked up our grocery order and came on back to the house, girl. But actually, in that grocery order is where I got this new creamer that I tried, because this whole year I've been heavy into my pomegranate green teas. This whole entire year I've been drinking like every morning nothing but pomegranate green tea. And I used to be really heavy on iced coffees, and the only reason I stopped was because at the beginning of the year is when I started trying to eliminate a lot of refined sugar from my diet. And I had no problem finding a dairy-free creamer last year when I went mostly dairy-free, but it was harder for me to find a sugar-free creamer. And so I just kind of stopped looking, and I just went all in on my pomegranate green teas, because I was just adding honey, which is a natural sweetener, and I didn't have to worry about it. But I was actually talking with some of my coworkers, and we were talking about iced coffees, and they were telling me about the different coffees they like. And I'm limited on the coffees that I drink because I don't drink caffeine. So the coffee that I drink is always going to be decaf. But we were talking about different creamers and different iced coffee recipes. And I looked up one of the creamers that one of the other girls was talking about, one of the brands. I saw that they had, zero sugar option, and I looked for it, and I didn't find that one in one of the stores near me, but I did find the nut pod ones, the one that I tried in this coffee, and it's their toasted marshmallow flavor, and it's really good. It's non-dairy, and it's zero sugar. So zero sugar means it's not sweet at all. So I still added some honey, and it doesn't take away from the flavor at all. It tastes like a toasted marshmallow creamer. It doesn't taste like a honey flavor or anything. You still get very much the strong toasted marshmallow flavor. And they also had other flavors. That there was a hazelnut one, there was a vanilla one, and I think a original one, which I think is coconut, because it's like almond and coconut milk based creamer. So I think the original one was a coconut flavor. But anyway, I wanted to try the toasted marshmallow one, and I have no regrets. It's absolutely delicious, and I'm so excited that I found a way to make a decaf, non-dairy, sugar-free iced coffee. Let's get into it. Okay? Because girl, it is too good. I highly recommend, if dairy is not good to you, and if you are also in a place where you are trying to not have too much refined sugar in your diet, I highly recommend. It took me a while to find it, and I'm glad I did. And now I can go back to going back and forth between my iced coffees and my pomegranate green tea. But too good. Too good, girl. But anyway, since I'm done with my chapter for the day, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and then I'm going to get into some Sunday house chores. I know I need to sweep him up in the kitchen. I got some laundry to finish. I want to clean our master bathroom. So we'll get into that, and then I will talk to you later. All right, girl. So just finished up. I started the last load of laundry. I have one last load to fold and put away. And then for the most part, I'll be done. I already swept and mopped, and I cleaned the bathroom. I cleaned our master bathroom, and that's all I'm gonna really be doing today. I'll cook later when husband gets off, but I'm gonna just find myself something quick to eat for lunch and chill out for a little bit. But I was excited to be able to get some writing in today and to get to the point where I am able to comfortably work my writing sessions into my new work schedule, because it was a struggle for me at first. When I first started my job, it's been 2 months since I started my new job now, and I went that whole first 5 to 6 weeks without writing anything, because I had already finished writing and editing book number 4 just before I started the job, because I kind of did that process a little bit quicker than I normally would have, because I wanted to get it all out of the way while I was getting used to the new hours of my job, and trying to do both, working full-time and writing, because before I was just working part-time and writing. So I wanted to give myself a minute to get used to my new schedule. And that minute, which I thought was maybe going to be a week or two, maybe 3, turned into about 5 or 6 weeks before I got to the point where I was comfortably writing again on a regular basis, with my new schedule. So I'm glad I was able to get that other project completely finished before I started that my new job, because now I'm not necessarily behind on my writing schedule, because I'll still be able to finish this book and get it edited before my planned release date. But it did take me longer to kind of get back into my groove than I had originally planned, especially once I got sick and I wasn't really doing much then either. So that kind of set me back a little bit more. But it feels really good to be back in my writing groove and, kind of back to doing something I'm really passionate about on a regular basis, and not just going to work and coming home and cooking and cleaning and stuff, because no ma'am. But getting that out of the way, like, it's still really early in the day, so I still have time to chill, have a little snack, a little lunch before, because right now I'm just watching Golden Girls until football starts. You know how my Sundays go. I'm watching my little Golden Girls marathon until the football game starts in a couple hours. But right now I'm just chilling out. I actually did hear back from a really good friend of mine yesterday. We hadn't talked in a while. We used to be really close, and she just kind of had a lot going on for a while, and life gets in the way of friendship sometimes. So I didn't hold that against her. I just kind of gave her space to handle what she needed to handle, and I was kind of moving on her time. And it had been about a year and a half since we talked last. So she reached out yesterday. She called me and left me a voicemail, and I was kind of doing a bunch of different things yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to call her back. But I did text her and let her know I got her message, and see if she's going to be available to talk today. Because I know, you know how it goes, girl, when you haven't talked to somebody that, used to be really close with, that first conversation, sometimes all of the conversations, but especially that first one after a while, is going to be a longer one. And I knew I just didn't have the energy for that yesterday. So I texted her and I told her I got her message, but, if we could talk today. And she said, yeah, she'll have time to talk today. So I'm going to finish up this last little bit of laundry, like I said, to fold and put away, and then find me a little something to snack on. And I'm gonna call her and catch up with her and spend the next couple of hours seeing what's been going on with my girl. And hopefully we'll plan like a little lunch date or a brunch or something where we can get together and really have a good key and really catch up for real, for real. But I'm excited to chat with her and to catch up and to, have one of my good friends back. But for the most part, other than that, I really don't have much else planned for today. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.